Alright, hello everyone, and welcome to another 3v3 fastest map on StarCraft Brood Wars Remastered. We're going to go ahead and jump to a 17-minute game from June 2nd of 2021, so about 4 years ago, a little bit more now. So no Zergs in this game, so a couple Terrans and a bunch of Protoss. Let's get into it and see what we got. Alright. In the top left corner is the pink Terran Vernon. Also on his team in the bottom middle is Iceman 1707. And then also on their team is Hoon 71. And I don't even know what to call this. Maybe Peach. Let's just say Peach and pink for that. Alright, and then the other team in the top middle is yours truly, John Redcorn, 1129. Then down here in the middle right is Tupac, the red Protoss. And then down here in the bottom right corner is Hydra Concovid. Alright, so no Zergs in this game. So this could be one where we see things move a little slow to begin. Unless they decide to attack the Terrans. So it could be a rush on the Terrans with Zealots, or it could just be everyone just sitting back and saying, we're just going to do this. So let's go ahead and look at the APM. If you look at this up here, Vernon and Iceman, both pretty high APMs. Iceman's up over 200 now, and then on the other team you see Hildra and COVID is at about 120, so pretty decently high APMs. Most games I see anyone from around, I don't think I see anyone over 300, or really anywhere over 200, but you usually see a couple guys in the hundreds and then people like me at 35, 36. Alright, so let's go ahead and just take a look at what everyone's doing. Alright, we've got some Zealots over here and quite a few gateways coming up. See what he does with those. Terrans, they're getting their barracks is going. This guy's going for a little bit more of an economical start with the second command center. I'm building plenty of supply depots and a lot of factories with the academy behind it. Blocking this off, I wonder if that's something that I did because of something that happened in another game. I'm very reactionary when I play this. A lot of times will change my methods based on how I lost in the previous game. So maybe someone got up behind me. I've seen that in a lot of games lately where people have been coming up behind people, bringing their units behind to the middle line, killing them right here. Alright, so we do have a cannon rush down here. I missed that. Iceman. He's even got a Marine to support this, which is, I think, hilarious. Vernon's sending more Marines to support this. It's interesting that he's doing that because it really does provide like a little extra layer. Alright, so this is going to be tough. He really needs to start building cannons right here. He might see he was behind. That one is going to be up fast. This one's going to be up faster than this one. He's sending some Zealots. Alright, so that takes out the... Good job sort of holding the line there by Magenta. So he's got this going on. In the meantime, here comes Blue. Or Red now attacking Blue, who wasn't prepared. And again, we've seen this so many times in cannon rushes. Just rush the cannon rusher, and a lot of times you'll get him. You're seeing here, he's got plenty of Zealots. I don't know where they were at the beginning of this fight, but he walked right by them. Alright, so he takes out all the cannons. Now we have... I came in with a little bit of Marine support. These Marines are going to get taken out. But a lot of pressure put on Blue. He's going to probably have to stop what he's doing over here now to defend himself over here, which hopefully will give Magenta enough time to get up and going. Magenta's got to put some more pylons right here, more cannons around here. You should be fine. Alright. So their Terran Hone does help push Tupac out. Alright, here comes some more Marines here with a medic now. Alright, so those are their Marines. I'm sending guys right through past all of this. Oh, Red and me are cleaning house. Alright, he's trying to come down. And I guess help Iceman? Finish this guy off? Alright, in the meantime, putting pressure on him. Alright, now we're in a spot where we can attack without getting attacked. Not many Marines survive that, though. I'm sending more down. Here comes Han to stop me from going. Alright, now Vernon's going to sort of... Oh no, Hone's sending more guys out. So now Magenta's fighting like on two fronts. In the meantime, I'm trying to keep the pressure on Blue, but he looks like he has just enough to survive. Yeah, Hone's sending in a lot of guys. So he's doing a pretty good job. I finally stopped streaming in, guys. Got some fire bats now that I'm mixing in. That's smart. All these zealots around. Alright, Red's streaming in more units, but I would like for him to stop for just a sec. Alright, Magenta still fighting so strong to just get up and going. What is that? Alright, we got the cannon going. Alright, there's more... Oh, man, this is a very dangerous looking army coming in here. Alright, so Magenta's just still in so much trouble. This guy's still cannon rushing him. He's fighting... Oh, man, fighting on two fronts in your own base has got to just be so... uncomfortable. Alright, so here I come. I got my fire bats. Sending a pretty good force here. If this guy can hold, we might be able to save him. Alright, so let's sort of speed up to this assault because I feel it happening. Alright, here we go. Alright, Red's coming in with some of those slow zealots. That's not going to be enough to help. Alright, here I am at the front of the base. I got to move in. This guy needs help. Alright. Alright, here we go. Here comes the push. I'm moving right into the cannons, which is a horrible idea. We're pushing this back, though. Alright, put on the afterburners with the stim packs. We're taking a lot of this out. Oh, here come more zealots. This guy's really got a lot. He's really streaming them in here. Now, we took out a lot of the guy's cannons, but... he's just rebuilding. Oh, man, what a wild game to start. This poor guy down here, Konkovid, has just been on his back foot the entire game. Alright, so he's sort of trying to build at the front of his base some defense. I'm sending in more units, hopefully to try to break this. He's building some gateways at his front. Man, we could just attack Blue. We really should just focus our attention back on his base instead of saving Magenta. Alright, so Magenta's still fighting hard. Getting that line in the sand that they need. Alright, so here we go. Here come the Marines. We're trying to... I wish I would move them in the right place. I'm just moving them... There we go. Now we're moving in the right place. Alright, we stim pack them. I don't think that's going to get too many guys. I just don't have enough guys. I attacked very poorly there. I'm really wasting a lot of units. Alright. Alright, so they're coming in again to attack this front plot. Alright, here comes Blue. Red's trying to hold off Blue and Peach. Here comes Han in on Red, but he's got plenty of cannons to defend this. This guy's not going to be able to do anything. Maybe take out that gateway, but... yeah, so those are all going to be destroyed. This guy's starting to get his factories up. I'm really just committing to this Marine push. I do have ones on their attack. Alright, so now they're starting to put some pressure on Red. He's trying to fight out of his base. This guy's still building inside Magenta's base. I mean, my goodness. This is crazy. Alright, so here I come to defend Red. Again, I'm not moving my units in the right place. I'm just commanding them. Okay, here we go. Now I'm moving them in. They're all getting destroyed. Alright, we're doing just enough to take this stuff out. Alright, there we go. Alright. So I'm helping Orange stabilize here a little bit. Magenta is sort of... it looks like he's going to get ready to start doing some drops. Alright, here comes some missile turrets. The medics are healing everything up. Alright, he's getting more cannons out here. This guy... so now it looks like everyone's starting to macro up here. Everyone's like, alright, now I'm going to get my big army and get going. This guy's going to start pumping out tanks. He does have Marines, but his are unupgraded. Mine's are at ones. I hope I'm upgrading them further. No, of course I'm not. I'm getting the medic energy going. That's the only thing I've got going right now. Alright, so things have slowed at the moment. Like I said, everyone's sort of building up. We got to keep an eye here because Blue just continues to build cannons. I mean, he's spending so much time doing that. He's finally starting to get gateways up, and he'll probably just go with Zealots. Alright, this guy's moving out with a heavy force. Alright, this is not going to be good for me because I have no tanks to support this. This is going to have to be Zealot territory. Ooh, I'm building a factory down here. That's interesting. Alright, so all these Marines are getting destroyed. I'm kind of trying to back them up. This is where I really need my Protoss brethren to step in and help me out. Alright, so this guy's trying to get some gateways up. This guy's setting himself up. Red's getting his Zealots going. Red's got a lot of Zealots now. If ever there... Yeah, I'm about to say, if he can take those tanks out, I can come in and take everything else out. Yeah, they're just... Now they're going to force me into this battle. I'm going to try to use some stim packs, but still, there's just way too many tanks. Red has just really left me out to dry there. Yeah, we're doing a really good job, really bad job moving our units. Like, we're not moving our units in the right place. Like, why are you attacking Blue right now, dude? Like, what are you doing? Alright. That's really been the downfall of our team, is just not sending our armies to the right place. Alright, now this guy's got tons of Dragoons. He's moving in with tank support. Finally, these Zealots get on top of these tanks. But the guy's going to have plenty more coming down the pipe. I'm trying to get a tank out and siege mode going. But we're probably going to lose this little alcove. Alright, now Magenta's trying to get his starports up. Wow, you got to give it to Magenta for being able to hang in there despite all of the pressure that they had. But it looks like right now is about to be the end for us. All these tanks, all these Dragoons. This guy was just... Look at all these gateways he's had. He was just left there to his own devices the whole game. Blue's now fighting out of his own base so he can join this. But man, it's really just Peach making this push. Alright, I'm sending more units out. See, I think if I was going to invest really heavily in this this Marine build, I should have upgraded faster and maybe made more barracks, because not having the tanks here is what's killing me. Alright, so I'm sending in guys. I can sort of fight the Dragoons, but not with tank support. This is looking like the beginning of the end here. Alright, here comes this guy. He's dropping some Reavers at the front of his base to try to help with this hold. Red doesn't really have much going on here. He's trying to macro up now, but these Reavers are going to become very, very important. Alright, so finally seeing the need to build tanks, but I'm too late. Oh man, these tanks, they're doing a really good job attacking together. Ooh, it's a good job by that probe. Alright, so the Reavers are kind of... He's microing the Reaver as best he can to try to get as much out of them. Here comes the Zealots to try to support. The Dark Templar aren't doing anything. Alright, here I come. And he's just got me completely over a barrel. I can't break out. I just need to build tanks. I'm just not doing it. I should have transitioned earlier on. Ugh, I hate watching myself do stuff like this. Alright, so it looks like they broke through on Red. Red's got a couple Dark Templar, and there's no observer here. Oh, there it goes. Alright, they finally took out the Reaver. This guy's getting his carriers up. Will it be in time? This guy's bringing in all these... Look at all those fire bats he's bringing in. Barely any Marines. This guy's playing great. I really like the way he's playing. He's doing what I should have done. He's sort of mixing the tanks in with all of this production here. Oh man, look at this. I've never seen someone build so many fire bats in an assault like this. You gotta love it though. Alright, they're moving in, trying... A lot of them are going to get killed by these photon cannons probably. But still plenty left. They're going to burn through those shields. Firebats are such an interesting unit. They've always been one of my favorites. Because they're not, like wildly useful, but, like, they're also, like, in certain moments can really help in it. Mixing it in with the Marines and stuff. Alright, so here we go. Red is just... I don't even know what's happening here. Alright, so here comes Magenta. He's dropping more Reavers, and he's got his carriers coming in to support. I've got quite a bit of units now. I'm just sort of sitting back, though. I should be really still trying to break through here. Now Blue's going to try to sort of box me in. Really poor job by me here. Just like not being helpful at all. I could even do like, I could set up some kind of drop maybe. I mean, I don't even know. Alright, so here comes Pink in on me. But I've got a pretty good hold here. He's going to have an awfully hard time breaking me here. Alright, so he brings in some tanks. I'm taking out a few of them. Alright, I'm moving in on him. Now, we're still at 1-1s. This guy's at 1-1s. These Dragoons are at 2-2s. That's crazy. This Blue didn't do any upgrades. These carriers just sort of sitting here. He would honestly be better off just bringing them back and getting them refilled. But they're just trying to sit on top of these cannons and have the interceptors do some stuff, but it's just not working. And he's just slowly and steadily pushing in on me as I finally build tanks. This is feeling like the beginning of the end. Alright, these carriers still not able to do anything. Alright, he's moving them over. He might be moving them in on me here where all these tanks are. Oh man, look at all those tanks that this guy's got now. He does move the carriers in on them. But it's just too much. It's too much. He moves them in. The carriers aren't going to be able to build interceptors fast enough. Tupac leaves. I think I'm seeing the writing on the wall. Yep, and I quit. Wow. You know, you got to give it to Magenta. Poor Magenta. He fought off all of this for so long. And then just didn't get enough help from his friends. I just think that me and Tupac were just not good enough players to really support that guy. But, you know, that's how it goes sometimes. All right, well, thanks for joining me. This is my first day back at work, so I didn't know if I'd be able to squeeze a replay in, but I'm glad I did. So I will catch you all in the next one. Have a good week, and yeah, stay frosty.